Okay, welcome back. We're going to do a championship edition for this weekend's games. Starting with Friday night, West Brom versus playoff chasing Sheff United up first. All laughing and jokes aside, I actually think Sheff United win this game. Not because they're any good, but because West Brom are just genuinely horrendous. I still sit here to this day. What day even is it? 11th of December. Mason's still there. Now, I might say every video until he's gone, because he's crap, man. He's rubbish. West Brom are conceding a lot of goals. The only saving grace is that at home, they don't actually lose that many games. Even though they should be winning a lot more than they are doing, the games are close as well. And you're going up against Sheff United, who haven't lost in 6 games now. They've won 4 of them. They're scoring a lot. They weren't clinical enough against Norwich in the last game, but they were still better side for the majority of it. And I fully expect them to come here and just lay it on them thick and be a better team. A side in West Brom that concedes loads to a side in Sheff United that more recently has been scoring loads. I think the only real thing I've got is that maybe if Sheff United have got injuries at Middle at Park, then Moat and some other boys at West Brom have got it middle could get a grip of it a little bit. But I just don't think it's enough. I think West Brom could scrape a draw, but I honestly come here thinking I'm going to go West Brom 1, Sheff United 2. I think they will come here and win. Not the most enjoyable start I've ever had. Moving into Saturdays, we've got Norwich versus Southampton at 12:30. This is quite tough. Like, obviously, people are going to look and think, well, Norwich obviously is second bottom and Southampton are flying at minute, which they are. But I'm telling you now, Norwich are playing a lot better. And I do think we'll get out of this. They've only got 1 win in about 55 games. But more recently, they went to Sheff United and dragged out a point. But for a side that was struggling in that game as well, Norwich, they had odd chance, but Sheff United were definitely a better side. To grind it out is something that they've missed. They've missed them cojones to be able to grind a result out like that. When they need to. When you can't win, don't lose. It's the age-old one, baby. Quite unfortunate timing, though, really, for Norwich, because Southampton have come in here, 6 wins in a row, only 1 loss, loads of goals. The only thing is maybe they're slightly slack at a certain point, because we're 3-0 up against West Brom and they ended up laying them back in a little bit. But that's just being very, very nitpicky, that. Norwich have been better, but have they got enough to get anything off this Southampton team? I really don't know. Obviously, Southampton are going to come here as big favourites, and rightfully so. Nothing to do with the Norwich side of things. Southampton, since this new bloke's got job, top jaw. Like, really good going forward, Southampton. Now, they've clicked, I think, is fair to say. And I'm actually quite a big fan. I think Southampton will get in there, definitely. But I think I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with... There'll be goals on this. I'll go with Desmond. I'll go for Norwich 2, Southampton 2, because I do think Norwich are doing right thing more often than not now. I think they'll get some of the Oxford and Preston. That is quite a big chance, that, for Oxford. Now, they've been enjoying a lot of games recently, and an Oxford fan actually said that he weren't very keen on Gary Rowett and that the negative football is really what could get him relegated, if anything else. Obviously, I'm not an Oxford fan. I don't watch you every week, but you've got to understand where you are and the team that you've got in relation to everybody else. You're going up against Preston here, who have had a huge turnover of players this summer. They've spent barely nothing, but they've been in this league a long time and they can afford to chuck a little bit more money at wage side of things. This Preston team that everybody looks at and thinks, that's not even that good, is miles better than the Oxford one. More or less every squad in the division is better than Oxford's, apart from Wednesday. Look at the teams in and around them. To be fair, I think Blackburn is quite close, but Blackburn have still got a better squad than you. Portsmouth definitely have, and they're awful. Norwich have, and the second bottom. If negative, disgusting football keeps you up, that's just what it is. Because if you try to play expansive to play out front back, you will concede 5 every week. So 1 loss in 5 games is good going. I think you are playing against Preston, though, who have lost, oh my God, even away from home, they've only lost once in 7 games, and that was to West Brom. The losses, I've always banged on about this with Preston, every loss they've had, home and away, has been by 1 goal. So it's two scrappy-ish managers going up against each other. Icky's obviously got a lot more experience, I think, at getting sides playing a bit better football, because he can do that with Preston, where you couldn't with Oxford here. But it's 2 teams that like to keep it quite tight-knit. Preston don't lose a lot. I do think it is shaping up definitely to be a draw, this. And I don't think it'll be one where there's loads of goals and loads of quality like Norwich and Southampton. I could see a 0-0, but I got Oxford 1, Preston 1, and we'll just move on from that one. Stoke and Swansea. What's happened here? Oh, Stoke. What's happened here? This is what they were doing at the start of the year again. They've lost 5 out of 6 games now. 5 out of 6 losses. They're still in 8th, so they're still in and around this picture. But they've had a really torrid run of fixtures, to be fair. They lost 1-0 away at Ipswich on Wednesday. But that's, again, that could be to title winner. That could be to a side that's almost definitely going to be promoted, Ipswich. If they've done it, it's a huge failure. So losing 1-0 isn't the biggest deal. They got tonked away at Sheff United. And that's the only one I would say that they weren't in game. I look at these 5 losses that they've had in the last 6. Coventry, I thought they were very even. I think they were better side at Leicester. Hull at home, again, very even game. Ipswich, I think they genuinely had quite a foot in that game. I don't think they got absolutely battered start to finish. The only one where they did get battered with Sheffield United. And that they truly, definitely deserve to lose that game. But a lot of the other ones, I think they're that far away and just not getting a look at draw again from winning a lot of them. And this is how it were earlier in the season before they went and won like 5 games in a row or something. So getting Swansea at home is a really favourable fixture at the minute because Swansea are awful. The last 2 games have beaten Portsmouth and Oxford, but they're 2 at basement dwellers. So it's 2 sides that they had to beat Swansea, really, or that have been in banging shape. Obviously, going away to Stoke is a different ball game altogether. Stoke are miles better than Oxford and Portsmouth put together. But I don't think it'll be a case of Stoke just like battering them. I don't think Stoke will beat them 3-0, so, for example. I think it'll be a close game, and I think Swansea will put a little bit more on them because they've shown a bit more in the last few weeks. But I still think Stoke win. It'll be a close one, but I'll go Stoke 2, Swansea 1. I do expect Stoke to get back on horse a little bit here. Birmingham at home to Charlton. Oh, no. Oh, dearie me. Charlton, 5 losses in a row. They've got a few injuries to the defensive side of things, which is obviously the strong point. They offer nothing going forwards. They're losing constantly. Against the Birmingham side that at home scores 4 every other game. Quite an easy one, you'd think. Part of me wants to say Charlton will be in this a little bit and that they'll come here and they might nick a point or they'll not get absolutely starfished start to finish. I'd like to say they're not going to lose 5-0 and that Nathan Jones, I could see making it really difficult for him to break down and stuff like that. But Birmingham, even aside from the Charlton thing, Birmingham don't struggle breaking anybody down at home. The amount of variety of teams that they have pummeled at home in the last month is crazy. And unfortunately for Charlton, I don't think that'll be any different. I don't think Charlton score, and I could see Birmingham getting at least 3. I'll go 4 even. Why not? Let's live a little. I'm going to go Birmingham 4, Charlton 0. Coventry and Bristol City. This is actually quite an interesting one. Coventry, last 2 games, they've not won. Oh, bloody hell. They got a draw away at Preston. They lost. Well, they got tonked away at Ipswich, 3-0. And then Bristol City were 2-0 down against Leicester last night on the Wednesday, but brought it back to 2-2. So character, yes, but consistency, no, for Bristol City at the minute. And that's why after being in playoffs more or less all season, they now find themselves sliding down a little bit to 10th. Now, there's no points in it, really. But the amount of traffic in between you, it's going to be a very close division. Consistency is going to be key if you want to get in there. And you look at Coventry and how consistent they've been. That is why they are 9 points clear of 3rd place. And unfortunately, despite a couple blips in the last couple of weeks for Coventry, they were both away. When you look at the home form, you're looking at 6 wins in a row, 8 wins in 9 and a draw. It's ridiculous how good these are at home. And unfortunately, I don't see that changing for anybody, really. I think Coventry will win. It might be a bit of a closer one. I don't think they'll absolutely run away with it, and I do think they'll concede Coventry because that does seem the only slight area that you could pick at. I'll go Coventry 3, Bristol City 1. We'll go with that, 3-1. Huge, this. Leicester versus Ipswich, absolutely massive. Undoubtedly, Ipswich a better team. Straight off bat, they are miles the better side. They are more consistent. They're higher up in table. They will finish higher than Leicester will, like, just nailed on. But Leicester are scoring more goals recently from different areas. It doesn't just seem to be edge at box, plop, top bins. They're creating a little bit more. It's still nowhere near good enough for the quality that they've got and the depth and what you expect of this Leicester side. And it reminds me of Ipswich earlier in the season. I feel like Ipswich are probably 15 games further into knowing what they should be doing than Leicester are. Leicester look like they've started playing today. With the squad that they've got, it looked like they all met each other yesterday and they've been thrown onto pitch to just do what they can now. I don't think they're being coached well enough. Whereas Ipswich started like that. Ipswich looked a bit lost at start of season. But now as it's gone on, they're just being a little bit more consistent. The grinding results are. Leicester aren't there yet. Now, last season, I thought Ipswich were a much better side than Leicester as well. And Leicester went to Ipswich and got a point and bet them at home and finished in front of them. I know they both come down, but still. It's going to be quite a good game. Another one, I don't understand Sky sometimes, you know. Why would you not put this on telly? At all the games that they put on, just random crap ones. Like, I'm not being funny. Always watching Stoke versus Swansea instead of Leicester Ipswich. I do not understand. But do I think that Ipswich come here and win? I'm going to write a Leicester win off straight away. I'll probably be wrong. But I'm going to write a Leicester win off instantly because I just think Ipswich are better than them. And they've been more consistent. And they don't concede as many goals. So, surely, I'm backing Ipswich there. Do I think they'll win? Do I think they will win? To be fair, Ipswich are good against sides that actually want to play against them as well. Last 2 that they've been away to, they went to Blackburn and Oxford and drew and lost. Against sides that are a little bit more open against them, QPR, for example, they scored 4. Swansea, they scored 4. Hull went and won 2-0. So against a side like Leicester, I think it might be a bit more open for Ipswich. And I made a mistake of going against Ipswich when they played another one at bigger sides in Coventry, and Coventry just didn't turn up. So I'm actually going to go Ipswich. I'm going to go Leicester 1, Ipswich 2. I would have beaten a 1-0, but I just think Leicester have got it in them and they're for a goal from out. So I'll go Leicester 1, Ipswich 2, but that should be a corking game. brilliant that we can't watch it. I'll tell you what's another good game, this. Middlesbrough and QPR. Like, I even myself here, I'm looking at it and thinking, this surely is a little bit of a doddle for Middlesbrough. Surely. Like, not to do it fact of the second, but QPR, I can't take seriously. I'm sorry. I cannot look at QPR with 4 wins in 5 games and think they'll keep it up. Even though I think they should. Because when you actually look through the side that QPR have got and the attacking talent, Kone, Burrell, and Poku, and Elias Chair, and that Varane fella in middle, and defensively they're not bad. So you look at it and think, why couldn't they get in there? But they're just so inconsistent for me, and it annoys me because I don't want to board this train at QPR and have to get off at next stop because that is just what will happen. A cold little line for me, that. Especially against Middlesbrough, who are looking very, very good going forward under this new manager. They've scored a lot of goals. They're conceding them all, but they've scored a lot of goals. And QPR are one that, even though they are winning recently, they're conceding quite a few as well. If it does just come down to a slugfest and who's got a bit more about them going forward, personnel-wise, I would back QPR. I do think they've got a better forward line than Middlesbrough, but I'm going to back Middlesbrough as a team, unfortunately. I think there'll be goals, but I'm going to to it home side a little bit. I'm going to go Middlesbrough 3, QPR 2. I think there'll be a lot of golassos and it should be a very good game, but I'm going to lean with Middlesbrough there. Oh, Millwall. 1-1 away at Derby midweek. It was a last-minute own goal, I think, from Jake Cooper, if memory does serve. Then have 4 points of second Millwall, chipping away very nicely. Hull just genuinely did batter Wrexham on Wednesday as well. And I've not done the review about the Wednesday games because there are only 4 of them. So I'll just talk about them as and when they come up. But yeah, Hull bet Wrexham 2-0, but it could have genuinely been 5-0. McBurney come on, immediately scores. Classic. Just what a striker. And this is rotten. Millwall are very, very tough to call anyway. Like, they're horrible. There's just such a disgusting side to try and predict anything with. And recently, they've been very good. 3 wins and a draw, including going away to Bristol City and winning, including beating Southampton, and only side to get anything off Southampton in the last, month and a half. Going to Derby away and getting a point ain't bad at all. I think the defensive side of Millwall's game is top jaw. Like, I look at that defensive unit that Millwall have got, and I think that is one at best in division. I really do. Like, Kramer and Caleb Taylor especially are, I would say, 2 at best centre-backs. I think Kramer is the genuinely best defender in the league, and he's playing it right back. Cooper ain't bad, a lot of experience there. But then you look at Hull and you think, what are the 2 strengths of these sides? Well, it's Hull going this way and it's Millwall that way. McBurney, Gellart, some other boys that Hull have got against that very resolute Millwall defence. It just does scream either 0-0 or 4 apiece, doesn't it really? Which means I'm going to go 1-1. That's the logic I've got to apply sometimes. It could be any extreme. So realistically, just take your rose-tinted glasses off thinking it's going to be a good game. That's a 1-1 if I've ever seen it. Millwall 1, Hull 1. Pompey and Blackburn. Oh, God, this one's absolutely huge-mongous as well. This really is a massive game for Portsmouth, because when are you going to get another game like this at home where you think we could and probably should win here? There aren't many for you to pick from anyway, Portsmouth. This is one that you've got to get. Blackburn 3 draws in a row. I mean, they would have had a win in the middle of that as well if pitch could hold up. But they've been in a lot of the games for a long time. The 2 losses that they've had in the last 9 games have both been by 1 goal. They've won 4, they've drawn 3. They are a little bit all over the place, but they're always in games. So straight off bat, I'm just going to rule out a Tonkin for someone. Blackburn could definitely come here and win, and I'm not ruling that out yet. But I don't think Portsmouth will win by 2 goals, clear. I don't think they'll clearly be a better side. I don't think Blackburn will clearly be a better side. Portsmouth are awful. Like, they are genuinely shocking. They score nothing. They create nothing. The 1 win. In fact, they've got points in 2 games out of the last 9. And 1 were a 0-0 at home to Wrexham, and the other one when Millwall had 10 men. So you're relying on a red card or a side just completely parking bus and offering nothing for you to get anything. It's not through Portsmouth being good that they gain any points, which is rare anyway. But I think the most worrying thing here for a Portsmouth fan, at home, which was such a strong point last year, Portsmouth have got the 20th best home form in division. It's 5th bottom. They are awful. Blackburn, for all their shortcomings and how poor they can look at times, are the 3rd best side in division away from home. They've won 3 out of the last 4 games away, including Leicester, Bristol City, a playoff side probably at time, Preston, a playoff side, Wrexham, a £30 million budget side. They've got 10 points out of the last 4 games. So do I think Portsmouth win with how they're playing and how Blackburn are away from home? I don't. I just can't see a way that this ends good for Portsmouth this season. I can't. It's just all shaping up for going down in April. I'm sorry. I think Blackburn come here and win, man. I'm going to go Portsmouth. I might give them a goal. I'll go Portsmouth 1, so you've got something to cheer about. But I think Blackburn will win. I'll go Portsmouth 1, Blackburn 2. You've got to chuck some brass at this in Jan, boys, or it's over. Wrexham, like we said about the whole thing, they got absolutely battered off Hull. That could and genuinely should have been 5-0. And Watford, to be fair, even though they drew against Wednesday, are playing quite good. Actually, I was looking through it just then and I was debating saying something else. They bet Norwich. And they were 2-1 down in that game. They come back to win. They went away to Birmingham, who just thrash everybody, and they were really in game. And then before that, you're looking at 25th of October, which is away at league title holders, what will be anyway, and they lost there. So Watford are obviously a good side. Wrexham are as well personnel-wise, but I still think that they're massively lacking. I'm just going to keep it real. I still think they are hugely lacking in dugout. Also, I think the team selection at Wrexham is going to be a difficult job anyway because the amount of good players that they've got. But I would pick about 5 different ones, I'm not going to lie to you. And you can't play like you did against Hull in this one. I know Wrexham are at home, but you can't be playing like that against someone like Loser at Middle at Park who will just run the show start to finish. It could be quite a slog this for Wrexham, and this could be where it turns if it does go sour. I think Wrexham are actually like really good at home. They lost to West Brom. I think that were right at the start of the season, actually. They lost to West Brom, QPR, and Cardiff in Cup. They've not lost other than that. They've got a lot of wins. They don't actually concede that many goals at home, and I don't think that'll be the case here anyway. I don't think it's going to be a big scorer. I'm debating giving Watford a win, I'm debating giving Watford a win. He who dares wins, baby. I'm going to go Wrexham 0, Watford 1. I think they might scam them. And then Monday night, I wondered where these boys riding, I thought, sure, they haven't got relegated yet, have they? Sheffield Wednesday versus Derby. Is this a little bit of a game? Has it got a bit of something behind it? I think it's more Derby Sheffield in it. I don't need to speak about Wednesday because we know how awful they are. Derby, last 5 games have only won once. And it were away at Swansea. And I thought like they were really turning it on a little bit. The drew with Millwall 1-1 Wednesday night in what looked quite an even game. Derby, though, I've got a lot of experience here. Like, Wednesday, I've got some experience as well, but their experience is shit. Derby, I've got some proper, serious players in this team. A lot of room for behind them. They're not shy. And even though the results haven't been going well from recently, I expect him to turn that around quite quickly, and I expect him to do it here. And if you don't do it here, then you don't deserve to go up. If you can't beat Wednesday, home and away this season, you do not deserve promotion. Do I think Wednesday Scott? Shall we give him a goal, lads? A pity goal. Yeah, why not? We'll go Wednesday 1, Derby 3. We'll go 3-1 to the Rams. You Rams! That's that. Absolute pleasure. Love you all. Guess make sure you like and subscribe if you do enjoy. You Reds, mate, see you in a bit.
Say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.